Krishna,
Okay.
we just thought about speaking a little bit about Bhakti. Uh, why is Bhakti so important? Could you explain Bhakti in combination with the mantra singing?
With combination of what?
With your singing, with your
Yeah,
work.
sure. Um, remember if when last time you fell in love,
Yeah, I remember.
didn't you feel like singing?
Yeah, I felt like singing.
That's what it's like. That's what it is. But but the interesting thing is that it's a little backwards
Mm,
because we are singing before we really find the real love. And so the singing is actually a spiritual practice. And what it does is it's a meditation and it's called the repetition of the names of God, the real the God is a weird word for us,
yeah.
but let me turn my phone off. Um, what they call the divine name. And these are the names of this living presence within us, which basically we go through our whole lives and we don't really feel.
Mhm.
We never truly find out who we are.
Yeah.
And so the practice of chanting is a way of zeroing in on that place within, because these sounds which we are singing, which they call name, the name, uh, are different from regular sounds and different words, regular words. They are actually the sound form of our own true being, you know. And through the repetition of these names, we move more deeply into ourself, our true self. And the true self is nothing but love.
Okay.
So the closer we get to that, the more open we feel. And eventually, they say, we will merge completely with that place within. That is that is nothing but love and kindness and compassion and caring for people and oneself as well.
I have a question. I remember when I fell in love the last time, but I also remember when it started to get difficult. So, how can have bhakti me here?
Well, why does it get difficult?
Oh, that's another story.
So many reasons it gets difficult because we are attached to our thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
So that's why the practice is very simple.
Okay.
It's as sharp as a knife.
Mhm.
When you sing, when you notice you're not paying attention, it doesn't matter what you're thinking about or what you're feeling.
Mhm.
You simply let go and come back to the sound of the name. That's all you have to do. You don't have to think about, well, could I really do this? Or, this is no good. This practice doesn't work. This will never work. This is bullshit. I don't know what to do. It's all crap.
Mhm.
Just let it go and you come back to the sound of the name. They call it a practice because you have to do it. You have to do it regularly because you have to develop the habit of letting go.
Okay.
But you can always let go. Why can't you let go? Well, because we're so identified with our stuff. But
Mhm.
over time, as we practice, as we continue doing these practices, that glue that holds us and glues us to all that negative thinking, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and it doesn't keep us stuck for so long.
Mhm.
Little by little, we develop the ability to come back sooner and sooner. And then when we come back, our experience gets deeper and deeper. Because right now we come back, okay, I'm singing again, okay. But we're not really feeling what's going on.
Mhm.
We're still we're still locked out of our own hearts. So it's a question of repetition. It's a question of committing to doing this practice regularly. You can't, if you're sick and you only take the medicine once every week,
Yeah.
you're not going to get healthy.
Yeah. That's
You have
true.
to take it every day until you're cured. And so this is the medicine here is the sound of the name.
Mhm.
The music, the music is the syrup, the sweet syrup that the medicine is hidden in.
Mhm.
Because we don't like if it's not sweet, we won't take it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So so that's why the music is there to help us take the medicine.
I have thank you very much. I have another question. When you go on concert, you will be in Munich, in Frankfurt, in Stuttgart, in Berlin, in Germany. Do you, is it spontaneously what you sing and chant, or do you now plan what you are going to chant with the people?
No, I definitely don't plan it, but different chants show up and they continue for a while and then something else replaces them and there's no real planning. I mean,
No.
you you know, you, I mean, when you're making love with someone, you don't sit around planning, okay, now I'm going to kiss him over here. It just happens.
Yeah, yeah. I ask because I think I don't know how you experience it, but we have really weird times. Everybody is some kind of stressed, and there's a lot of anxiety. And are there special mantras you prefer at the moment, or which help you personally to get through these times?
No, they're all the same.
Okay,
They are the names of our own true nature.
okay.
And every time we move towards that true nature, we feel better.
Mm,
So it's all, whatever name you're calling, it makes no difference really.
mm,
Unless you particularly like one particular name, and so you call that name and you feel good. But
mm,
it doesn't mean that the name itself is any different or any better. It just means your relationship with it is more open or something.
mm.
But people ask me all the time, oh, someone's dying. Do you have a mantra for that? Or my father's going for surgery. Do you have a mantra for that? No. Maybe thy will be done would be the best one, but other than that, they're all the same.
Oh, okay. And does it matter how long I chant it, or so? What would you recommend from the length?
I'm getting old now, so I can't really do more than 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, okay.
But I just go as long as I go. I don't really think about it.
Uh,
Unless there's a particular rule that we have to be finished at a certain time. But usually, we sing for at least 2.5 hours, maybe three, depending.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, or no.
yeah. So you also give a workshop for yoga aktuell, no? When in is
I like to hang out and talk to people. That's what a workshop is.
so. What are the most questions people ask you? I think it's
Really, no matter what the words are, everybody wants to know how they can get what they want out of life. How can they be free of suffering? How can they find love? How they can be happy? How they can live at ease? How they could not hurt. And so everybody asks those questions, maybe a slightly different way, but it's all the same question. It's like help. How does this work? How do I get free? How do I find what I need, what I want? How do I get what I need in life? And that's a good question because we're not trained
mm,
by this world to get what we need. We're
mm,
trained to try to get what we think we want, but it's never enough.
mm,
And recognizing that happiness doesn't come from the outside or from anyone outside or from anything you get on the outside. Really recognizing that and really knowing that in a deep way is is a huge step towards actually finding real love, real happiness, reality, actually.
mm. And is it some kind of a long way to get there, to get to really realize that we only can find it within ourselves?
As long as the Lord sends the Zoom link, it ain't doesn't take too far, doesn't take too long. Hear me. No, it's a question of how many millions of lifetimes do we spend fucking ourselves up? It's
Mm,
not going to change right away. Why? Because we're addicted to our habits. We
mm,
have all these habits of thought, how we see ourselves, the lies we tell ourselves about ourselves that we believe. Like, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy of love. I need this person to love me. I need that car. I need this job. I
mm,
need these clothes. I need to feel this way. I need that. And we're so totally identified with and lost in our habits and in the programs that are running inside of us and in the storylines we tell ourselves about ourselves.
mm,
It doesn't go away automatically.
mm.
Even when you get a glimpse of freedom from that, it doesn't mean that those programs stop running. So it takes it, it takes time. If you want to learn an instrument, you have to practice. If you want to learn how to be happy, you have to practice.
Yeah, one question I would like to ask you, what I find so difficult is sometimes I feel so close to the inner love and the inner truth, and it feels like, wow, now I got it. And then it totally crashes and it seems to be so far away. I can't understand why it is that way.
Both of those both of those thoughts are equally illusory.
But I didn't get you. Both of
Neither
them?
one of those thoughts is true.
Yeah.
You are the last person in the world who could ever know what's going on with you because all we do is interpret things according to how I feel. How am I now? How am I now? How would we know? We don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. We don't know where we're going. We don't know why we do the things we do. We're the last person who will ever know how we're doing. So the best thing is to just forget it.
Okay.
And like Maharaji said, don't think about yourself.
Mhm.
When I was going to kill myself, I was having a nervous breakdown in the temple. And he looked at me and he laughed. He said, "Ah, what are you going to do? Jump in the river?" Ah, and he laughed. He
Mhm.
said, "You can't die." He said, "Worldly people don't die. Only Jesus died the real death." What? I'm in a Hanuman temple in the Himalayas. He's talking to me about Jesus. And then he said, "Why? Why did he die the real death? Because he never thought of himself."
Okay.
It that the way that English doesn't really the 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 thought of me
Mhm.
gone in that being. There's no ego.
Mhm.
So the real death is the death of the belief that you're separate from everything else.
Yeah.
And that's just a belief. It's actually not true. It's just a program. It's a delusion, which we totally, absolutely, 100% believe.
Mhm.
I think I'm the center of the universe. The most important thing is how do I feel? How
Mhm.
is it now? How is it now? Is the heat perfect? Is the wind outside? Is it a nice day? Do I have the right clothes on? How's my hair? Everything. Is it all about me all day long?
Yep.
And so no wonder we suffer.
Mhm.
So as you begin to practice letting go of those kind of thinking, when you notice you're just in dreamland and you kind of woke up for a second, the more you wake up like that, the more you come back to the sound of the name in this case,
Mhm.
the less time you spend in negative states of mind, the less time you spend thinking about yourself. Actually, I used to like mope around all the time. You know, really, like, I was very depressed for most of my life. And now I don't even think about it. I don't
Okay.
even, am I depressed? I don't know. Who cares? It's like, why should I care?
Mhm.
Why should I even think about it? But we get stuck with it. You know, it's not, I'm not trying to make light of it, most people they really suffer because their identification with negative emotional feelings. And that stuff is put into us at an early age. We're born into families who are going to fuck us up just in the right way we're supposed to be fucked up.
Mm.
I mean, it takes a lot of overcoming and a lot of dedication and a lot of recognizing how lost we are, begin to get found.
Mm.
And the more practice we do, the more found we are.
Wow.
And the less time we spend giving ourselves a hard time. If we weren't giving ourselves a hard time, where would it come from?
Mm.
Right? We don't need any help. We're doing it to ourselves.
Mm.
So practice is required, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One must do some practice. One must develop uh, a new set of habits
Is it
because the old habits have been running us for so long and they're obviously not doing well for us.
is it still also important for you to practice regularly?
Me? Oh, yeah, sure. Of course.
So it's
Would-
a never-ending story.
Hmm?
So it's a never-ending story. So we have to do it till the end of our life.
Whether it's never ending or not, who knows? But for now, it goes on. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So it really
Yeah,
helped me. Yeah, and we are really, really looking forward to seeing you in
me too.
Germany very
Me
soon.
too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Well, be well.
Bye bye. Ciao.